Okay, so this is the Dumond, let me see, what is this called? Dumond Smart Strip. And it says safe and effective, earth-friendly, 0 VOCs, and it's odor-free. It actually does have an odor though. It's not odor-free, but the odor is pleasant. It's not like a strong chemically smell, and it's just a light smell. But it says it's 0 VOCs, which was one of the main reasons why we got this. But this is paint. Like, this is wood. This is the original wood. This house is 1907. And I don't know why they painted it so many times, but this last layer, they painted it to look like wood. So what we want to do is get down to the bare wood. And so our contractor said, that's going to be really hard. They said it's going to be really hard to get down to the bare wood, da-da-da-da-da. They want to paint it, they want to sand it and paint it. So I'm in here with this stuff that I saw another lady using on the YouTube, and basically what you do with this is a really thick paint stripper, and you paint it on, and you get this paper. The paper doesn't come with it, but it's also made by Dumond. It's a laminate paper that you press on there, so that when you pull it off, ideally you pull off all the paint with it. So as I was painting this on, it already started to bubble up. So if you look closely, you can see the little cracking and stuff in here of the paint. So I'm actually pretty confident that this is going to work really well. The problem that our contractors had with using a product like this is they said that it normally would leave the wall sticky and then hard to work with. But I don't think that's going to be the case. I think they haven't used this product. This is our first time. This is like our little test. So we're just going to test this little side here and then come back tomorrow and pull it up and see what happens. They say leave it on for 3 to 24 hours. But with this paper, and that's if you're using without the paper, because like I said, it doesn't come with the paper. But this paper actually accelerates the process. So you should be able to pull it off sooner. But it's kind of late in the evening today. So we'll just come back tomorrow and pull it off and see how that looks. I'm really super psyched. It's not expensive, but it's not the cheapest thing in the world either. I think this 1 gallon thing here was like $60. And then the paper separately was about $16. It comes in square strips, so you actually have to cut it. I ended up cutting this and just sticking it on. So we'll see what happens tomorrow. So here's the strip. And I don't know where I put the scissors, so I'm missing wood there. Let's stick up there. As you can see, we're just in the beginning phases of the rehab on this property. Oh, there's a nail up there that I didn't feel. Yeah, but we're just in the beginning phases of the rehab on this property, so that's why it looks like this. Underneath this carpet is some beautiful hardwood floor we've already checked for. And so we're just leaving the carpet here for now to protect the floor while we're doing other things. And then we'll just pull it up later. But yeah, really excited. I hope this works. I don't know why I'm wearing my mask. There. So, yeah.
You're wearing a mask and stuff, but the electrician is in here and stuff, and he don't wear a mask, so.
Oh yeah, I forgot he was here.
So right now, we're putting light in these rooms. So we have our electrician here, and in here, there's no light, so we're putting the lights in here. And then also there's another room.
I got some of this on the tape. You can put the tape on here to like protect the things that you don't want to strip. I'm a little concerned. This is kind of strong. I hope it doesn't like eat through the tape or whatever.
Yeah, most it's gonna do is probably eat through the tape into the paint behind it.
Right. Yeah, this is already starting to bubble. It started bubbling up before I even pushed it.
So don't press down on it.
No, you're supposed to.
Oh.
Yeah, you're actually supposed to press down and get all the air bubbles out, which I did already. These bumps that you see are just like clumps because I really put it on pretty thick. So that's just clumps of product on there. But yeah. So what this is, the point of the paper is to hopefully avoid scraping. With most products, you put it on and then you scrape it or whatever. I don't want to do all that. We don't have time for all that. And this is a lot of trim. I mean, if you look at all this trim around the house, that's a lot of trim. And if this works, that will be the time. I'll do it by myself if this works. Saves the money of having to pay the contractors to do it. I hope this was one of those I told you so moments. I really do. Because this, I love this old wood. We love this old woodwork. I mean, they were like, yeah, tear it all off, put new ones. Which is, yeah, modern is good. It's nice to see new stuff. But it's also really nice to see this original stuff. Especially since it's savable. I mean, there's nothing wrong with it. It's not really damaged. It just has been painted over. So we can get that paint off and that would be fantastic. They don't make things like this anymore. I don't even know what kind of wood this is. I'm not like a wood specialist. But I know they don't make it like this anymore. And look at the size of it too. You should be painting an arm and a leg for this. It's like 6 inches right now. And it's craftsmanship. Look at that. Yeah, so we've already had the ceilings done. The ceilings were like a nasty, disgusting popcorn ceiling. So they've already stripped in the ceiling and then applied knockdown. It hasn't been painted yet. They did scrape it and apply knockdown. So this is kind of a small rehab for us. I mean, I don't know what this would be for other people, but we usually, have properties where we gut it down to the studs. And we're putting new electric, we're putting new plumbing, new HVAC, everything, and new drywall. And this property, we don't have to do all that. This was a pretty good property. The guy who we bought this house from, their family owned this house for over 70 years, which is really cool because then we got a lot of history of the house. He also doesn't live too far away, which is really cool, so we're still in contact. And I'm actually really excited to show him the house when it's finished. I really hope that he makes me really happy when he sees the finished product of it.
Studs? Yeah.
I'm pretty confident it will. I got my sweaty pants on because I'm ready to work. We do this and it comes up well, then I'm ready to just go ahead and strip all of this wood. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to start from the bottom and work my way up and just strip it, just peel off the paint and hopefully it comes right off. Right? Maybe I should start at the top, huh? I'm gonna start at the top. Now I'm gonna start at the bottom. Just feels right. So let's zoom in and see what we get here. I'm gonna start at the top. I wrapped it around this side. It's actually peeling off a little harder than what I thought it would. I think it started to dry on the side. There's a little bit of detail on the side. Isn't it? Oh, that looks terrible. That looks really terrible. It's not as good as I thought it was going to be honest. But I'm down to the bare wood. I have to put something under here. Not that we're keeping this carpet's totally coming off, so we have good hardwood floors underneath there. But look at that. Look how sticky and just gross that is. I thought this would come off much easier. I am using a plastic knife because I didn't want to ruin the wood. And look at that. Look, that really, I mean, it's coming off. It's just not as much or as easy as I thought it would. It might need to take a second coat of this. So this right here, what we're peeling off is approximately, I believe, 3 layers of paint. And it's been on here soaking for 24 hours. That's the bare wood right there. And it's a good thing I'm using a plastic cutting knife too, because I do strongly believe that if this were metal that I was using, that I would totally be destroying this wood right now. Look at that, that's down to the bare wood. I took off the original stain and the original poly that was on there, and then it looks like there's primer, a couple coats of primer, and then the brown paint that they put on there. So this looks like something that will work, but it looks like something that will take 2 coats to do. So they did have another one that was a little bit stronger than this one. They have the Smart Strip Pro, but the Smart Strip Pro is not 0 VOCs like this one was. And the Smart Strip Pro also has, it says low odor and low VOCs. I want it to go for something that, you know, it's called a little bit armchair one. And I can't even reach up there, so I'm just gonna pull. Oh, I thought that was gonna be better. But I'm not disappointed, because look what we got. Look at that wood underneath it. I mean, I think it's worth doing 2 coats on. I really do, just to get to the wood. That's beautiful. There is no replacing that. So you can see in some areas, you can still see like the stain and the original varnish that was on the wood. And then some places you can see the bare wood, and then some places you can see the primer. But it definitely took off those other 2 layers of paint that were here. So, yeah, it's gonna need a second coat. After a second coat, I don't imagine that it would need much, much scraping. You'll definitely need a sand, but I don't imagine it would need much scraping after a second coat. But I would let this dry probably before I put another coat on. So right now it is just wet and gooey. And that's what the contractor said. They said it makes the paint wet and gooey and hard to work with. And he was right, they did make it gooey. And if I stop and I let this dry for a little while, it'll still likely be sticky and gooey. But I still think it's worth it. I still think it's worth it to get the outcome that we want. Because we're keeping this property. This is not a property that we're gonna, flip and sell right away. So I still think that it would be worth it to do what we gotta do to make it how we want it. A little extra work, but a little work never hurt anybody. What do you think? Would you guys do that? Would you guys do this twice on all of this trim throughout the house? Is that something you can do to make it down? Is that something I'm willing to take on? You guys gonna come help? Alright, okay. Started to dry. There we go. How good that's starting to look. And then afterwards you gotta neutralize it with water. Maybe they don't ever neutralize it with water. Or maybe it's still sticky after that. But this doesn't seem like that hard of a job. Oh man, look at that. Look at that. Beautiful. Beautiful. So this is what we did in just a matter of minutes. I think it's worth it. And it's not that hard. So apparently I had to scrape a little bit harder than I was. My husband came over here and was like, this is the video and scraped it off. So I wasn't scraping as hard as I should. So maybe the next time go around when I take it off initially, I'll scrape it harder. Yeah, but I think that looks good. One of the things that just brings harder to watch is how it slowly peels off. Look at that gathering on the face. It's like ASMR for the eyeballs. Oh, look at that. Nice. I love working with my hands and I love doing things, but I love seeing results. And look at these results, you guys. Over here, it's just gliding. Yeah. We didn't do this side. This is just a little bit of stuff that happened here. You know, we did a lot today. This side we're gonna do on its own. Actually, right now, when we're finished scraping this, we'll just go ahead and put some of that smart strip. We can at least hit this whole room and probably that room right now. This evening with the amount of materials that we have. Come back tomorrow and try some more. And then we'll scrape it as best we can like this when we pull it off. And just neutralize it with some water. Let it dry, hit the rest of the sander.
You don't know how big the spot you're talking about.
I guess they don't know what size you're going to use, so you put in the square and maybe cut it. But, I mean, if you think of the average size trim, being anywhere from 4 to 6 inches, if they made these, like, say, 8-inch strips, it wouldn't be the end of the world. So what if it's a little bit? It's going to save a whole lot of time. Like this would be like a little narrow. And I ran into that the first time I cut it too. But this side would be a little narrow. So I might just leave this and just make it a bigger strip than it needs to be. And then have the arrows that you don't want to use. Oh, this one's a little bit more narrow. Yeah. Yeah, because this is the size that I need for this big wood frame here. But leave this little narrow piece of it really. And this will be more than enough to do this whole frame right here. That he's standing under the So it took 2 and like this much, 2 and this much for this side. So it's going to do all this and here, the interior, and the other side. So
All this to get some light in here.
That's the only bad thing about these guys. Once you get it nailed,
There's Aaron, the electrician and stuff. He's the first in town. He only puts a couple of holes in your walls. Yoshi wanted some extra light in here. I said go with the candles, but she didn't want the candles.
Candles?
Yeah,
what
right
is
now.
this, the dark ages?
Yeah, I mean, you said you want a classic house, right?
Yeah, but this isn't the house for that. I wanted the kitchen. You need to get rid of my kitchen, so you might as well go all the way.
So this is the first floor. We went through the basement to add that on. And now we're going to the ceiling. And if it was open, we wouldn't have to go through all this and stuff. But we already have people come in and put texture on the ceiling. They have to come back and do the patchwork again. So make sure before you start doing this work, or the texture guys, make sure you get the electrician in first, and you can avoid all this going backwards.
It was so bad, too. Because they knew we still had the kids.
Lights.
yeah, that was pretty bad.
They came in and they did it so fast.
Yeah.
Which is why I think you want that so fast. So.
That was an oversight.
No, but to see the thing, they knew that we needed electrician, and they wanted to use their guys, but their guy is not licensed. So we was like, nah, we have a Tish, and we got people coming in and stuff. We need to have. And for people that understand what's going on right now, this is called fishing, and he's fishing the wire through the holes.
Trying not to break any more plaster out than I have to.
Yeah.
That's why I'm kind of taking the time here. Yeah, I had to make these holes to make the holes that go through the stud to get the wire through. And then joists go this way. So we got our light hole here. And then go from our switch down here, and over a couple stud spaces. And so to do it on the wall rather than the ceiling, because the ceiling is textured.
taking his time. So this is why you need somebody that's professional and that's not in a rush and really care about your project.
And that's the big one right there. I treat every house like it's mine.
Yeah.
I really do.
Oh, I do that too. You know.
I mean, it's the way I want work done in my house. You know, that's you know, you guys pay me good money. That's you're gonna get the you're gonna get the best that I'm capable of giving you.
Exactly.
And that you should demand, you should expect nothing less than that, to be honest.
So always hire somebody that'll take care of your house like it is their own. Because we're gonna start like
AARON.
You hear that? The plug? That's the plug. Definitely get contact and stuff.
I did AA because of my name, Aaron. It's the first in the Google searches and the phone books. And
Yeah.
Because of the AA, and who's gonna beat me?
Nice.
There wouldn't be any AAAs, is there? Oh, there could be a
Oh,
AAA.
AAA, yup, AA.
I better lock that company down.
Oh, you better.
I was gonna make it my son's name, but not better of it.
Only if he takes over the business.
Where did that come from?
Somebody on the other side.
$100 million cash. So, and you got the plaster and that. You get your wire to go across the ceiling. And you think it'd just be easy to push it from here to there. But if you don't take and fold the end over like this, and you squish it flat so it's got nothing to catch on here, it can get caught on those little bumps from the plaster that's up there. And that makes it so it just glides over nice and smooth. It's a lot easier.
Let's see if we got a winner.
You see it over there? No.
No, not yet. I hear it.
Next to this stuff. I should go Why are you taking Chinese? Just to learn it, or just because you want to?
Yeah, well, my dad's Chinese.
Oh,
So
really?
it's kind of, go back to roots, I guess.
And they got a village in China that they supposed to go and visit, but COVID happened, so we never had a chance to go.
Yeah.
Yeah, they got a whole village named after their last name, right? Yes.
Yeah. That was the whole point. That was don't miss the light. That was the whole point.
Two sets of screws in each one long one, one short one. Is it going to put the inside on it? No, that's why it's an 832. It's what it's supposed to be. But I got tons of them. Because, they come with long end and short, and you want to use one set. So.
Ready? You ready to do it?
We are ready. So, Aaron the electrician just plugged in the basement, the wire in the basement. So now we're live. We got some energy, and Miyoshi is gonna do the honors. This is the room.
All right, I'm gonna flip the switch. Let there be light.
Euro or a zero?
There it goes.
Yeah.
Sounds like a euro.
Now you see everything. Now she sees everything.
Oh, really great.
Yeah.
Such an improvement.
Here it is.
This is an excellent shape though. So they didn't have to put a layer of sheetrock over that. They just
They just
that's
put.
They
crazy.
scraped the popcorn. So
They
it was
scraped the popcorn and then they just textured it on.
yeah.
It was in that good of shape.
Uh-huh.
Wow, this house stayed dry then.
Yeah.
This is your project, honey. It's not mine.
Smile.